Who's got cows?
Beeper, beeper.
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 Beeper. I know what I want you to do.
Beeper.
I want you to sing Climb Up Sunshine Mountain.
In 1994, my cousin Jacob Durham was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, a childhood cancer that develops in the nerve tissue. For many years, his cancer was treated at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Unfortunately, Jacob passed away when he was 9 years old, but he was able to spend many more years with our family because of the treatment he received. Jacob spent several years raising money for St. Jude so that other children could receive the same great care that he was given. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is located in Memphis, Tennessee, and has saved the lives of literally hundreds of thousands of children by revolutionizing the way childhood illness is treated. And this miraculous place is there because one man, Danny Thomas, made good on a promise. Danny Thomas was born in 1912 in Deerfield, Michigan. His parents were immigrants who had come to the U.S. from Lebanon. As a young boy, he sold newspapers and worked as a theater usher, selling sodas and watching the entertainers. He later said it was this experience that started his dreams of show business. In 1931, Danny was a young man in a very difficult time in our country. Unemployment had doubled to more than 16%, and everyone was realizing the stock market crash of 1929 was going to have a greater impact on the economy than ever expected. Danny was living in Detroit and was fortunate to get a gig as a singer on the radio show called The Happy Hour.
Is it true what they say about Dixie? Does the sun really shine all the time? Do the sweet magnolia blossom?
While the gig itself did not pay anything, the host of the show made Danny his assistant, and he began making $6 a week. During the next 2 years, Danny worked a variety of moderate jobs in entertainment, but it seemed to him his career was never going to really take off. He was at the end of his rope. In desperation, Danny prayed to St. Jude, the patron saint of the hopeless, asking for help. He made the promise that if St. Jude helped him find his way, Danny would erect a shrine in his name. Eventually, Danny found the success he was looking for and was the star of a hit TV series.
As his wife, and Sherry Jackson and Rusty Hamer as their children. Make room for Daddy!
Where's Rusty? Why can't he meet at the table on time?
I don't know where he is. Honey, get your brother, will you? Rusty!
To find out what happened next, I went to St. Jude and visited David Gaddis, who was there at the beginning.
Well, I'm going back 50 years now. You bear in mind it might have a few gaps in here somewhere. But I met Danny Thomas when he came to Memphis and had made his dedication to build something here for children. He was performing in Chicago at a nightclub there. And he had become rather successful, and he decided he wanted to fulfill this commitment that he made to St. Jude. And it just grew from there. That seed, as Danny said, that St. Jude, that Acorn became a mighty oak over a period of time.
Danny began raising money to make his promise a reality in the early 1950s. He and his wife traveled around the country sharing their vision in cities large and small. They once visited 28 cities in 32 days.
Because Danny had a lot of support in the industry he was in Hollywood. He brought some of the biggest stars, Frank Sinatra. I mean, just brought just a whole collection of movie stars. Jane Russell, Susan Hayward, Paul Anka, you name it. They all came here and performed, and he raised his money. And he went to anywhere he could go, that he could get some people that would be interested in it to sponsor it, you know, and he did well.
Danny also turned to his fellow Arab Americans for help And in 1957, 100 representatives of his community met in Chicago to form American Lebanese Syrian Associated Charities, or ALSAC as it is called. Their objective was to help Danny in raising money for the support of his hospital for children. During the 60s, people were moving toward revolutionary ways of thinking, and real change was in the air for Americans. Thoughts and opinions on race, gender, politics, and yes, healthcare were all being questioned. And in this environment of revolution, on February 4th, 1962, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital was opened.
It took your heart and your loving mind and your generous soul to make this fabulous dream come true. Who are Christian and believe in there's a relic of St. Jude in this cornerstone. We got special permission to put it in. So it's virtually an altar, too, for those who appreciate this kind of an altar. And for all others, it's a nice-looking statue. It's inspiring. Here we go.
Today, thanks to St. Jude, the survival rate for most childhood cancers is more than 90%. St. Jude was one of the first hospitals to accept children of every race, and the treatment for everyone is always free. Joel Alsop knows firsthand how important St. Jude can be. He was a patient at St. Jude as a child and now works there.
When I was growing up, I was right-handed, so I used my right hand to do everything, to play sports, to buckle my seatbelt, to write, and my parents started noticing I wasn't doing those things with my right hand anymore. What had actually happened was there was a tumor growing in my arm, and it had broken a bone in my right arm near my shoulder, so that's how I knew that I had cancer. St. Jude was so important in the treatment of my cancer and in the treatment of me as a person as well. St. Jude is the best possible place you can be in the world in one of the worst possible times of your life. They take you in, they make you feel like family, you don't have to worry about paying for your medical treatment, and at no point do you have to worry about not being a kid. It makes it a place where you can go when you're very sick, but come away knowing that you can be a full person again.
Another way St. Jude revolutionized the way cancer was treated was by creating a hospital that accepted anyone from any race or social class. To find out more about diversity in St. Jude, I visited Alicia Matthews, the multicultural director there.
For me, I think the most impactful thing about St. Jude was Danny Thomas's vision to open a hospital like St. Jude in 1962 in the segregated South, and to accept people of all races to work at the hospital and to be patients at the hospital. Because during that time specifically, African American patients were not able to be treated at all hospitals. So that was very revolutionary during that time. We treat primarily children with cancer and other life-threatening diseases, but in addition to that, we treat the whole family. So we make sure that not only the child is taken care of, but that the siblings, the parents, everybody involved in that family can make it through this ordeal, because it's a life-changing experience.
If you were to tell people what exactly St. Jude does, what would you say?
Saves children's lives. A very short explanation. I think that has been our mission, to eradicate childhood catastrophic disease.
Because St. Jude was such an important place for my family, I wanted to hear more about my aunt's experience.
St. Jude is all about basically what Danny Thomas said, that no child should die in the dawn of life. It's helping your children get better. It's helping your children have quality of life while they're sick. It's helping the parents cope with the child's illness. It's just basically giving you a way to deal with your child's illness while they're going through it.
Danny Thomas saw a problem in the world and reacted to fix it. Thousands of doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers have since joined the cause. Together with those who help provide the resources by donating money or participating in fundraisers, they have revolutionized the way childhood diseases are treated. Who knows, someday we may just wipe out all childhood disease completely, and it all started with one man making good on a promise and watching it turn from an acorn into a mighty oak tree.